Senator Cotton.
Judge, I want to return to where we stopped this morning, the question of racial equality, specifically race discrimination in higher education. Last year, the Department of Justice sued Yale University for discriminating against students on the basis of race. Based on Yale's own data, if you look at one of its top academic categories when you control for academic achievement, the admission rates by racial category were as follows. Asian Americans, 6%, white applicants, 8%, Hispanics 21%, African Americans 49%. Do you think that evidence suggests discrimination based on race in Yale's admissions process?
So again, my best recollection is that between my nomination and now, the department has made a decision about that.
The case was voluntarily dismissed on February 3rd. It's no longer a pending case.
So my recollection is correct. So these kind of cases obviously depend on application of the Supreme Court's opinion in the Gritter case and the Fisher case. And they require a lot of factual development and examination of the facts. These cases do not only depend on disparate statistics, but on all the factors the Supreme Court instructed the lower courts and the government as to what kinds of affirmative action in higher education are permissible and which ones aren't. So I honestly can't draw any conclusions without knowing the facts of the case.
So some of that Supreme Court case law about racial discrimination in higher education says that race can only be used as a plus factor. It can't be decisive in practice. It can't be a defining feature. It can't be the predominant factor. When Asian American kids are 8 times less likely to be admitted in the same band of academic achievement, you don't think that at least suggests a facial case of racial discrimination?
Well, I think that's the question that you look at for the underlying facts to know. I don't remember exactly the words of the Supreme Court opinions, but they seem pretty much exactly, what you just said. You can't have a rigid quota. You can't have a fixed. This was the consequence of the Gratz case, which was the companion case to Gritter. Gritter was the University of Michigan Law School. Gratz was University of Michigan as a university. With respect to Gritter, the court said it was a holistic approach and was permissible. With respect to Gratz, it said it was a fixed ratio or a fixed number and not permissible. But those are things you find out by discovery in the case and examination of what the actual practices of the university were, and I have no idea what they were.
Judge, did anyone in the Biden administration consult with you about the decision to drop the lawsuit against Yale University?
No, I have assiduously kept out of those. It's not appropriate for me to be examining anything like that unless you confirm me.
Will the Department of Justice, under your leadership, pursue cases of obvious racial discrimination in higher education?
Well, if you put it that way, the answer is, of course, yes. Obvious.
Well, I think this presents an obvious case of discrimination against Asian Americans. I suspect some Asian American parents and their kids are a little disappointed in those answers, Judge. I want to turn to the...
I just want to say I'm only giving the answer to what the Supreme Court said the law was. I can't do any better than that.
Eight times less likely to be admitted?
My answer was you have to look at the facts inside.
Okay, I want to turn to another very important topic, which is the rising rates of violent crime in the country. According to the FBI's crime statistics, only 45% of violent crimes in this country result in an arrest. Would it be better or worse if 100% of violent crimes in this country resulted in arrest and prosecution instead of just 45%?
Would be better if Congress gave the department enough money to arrest every single person. I assume you're talking both about state crimes and federal crimes.
That's according, yes, to Department of Justice, FBI crime statistics.
So those
45%.
Are almost all, or a large percentage, are talking about local crime. So
do you
yes,
think do you think the department today solves too many crimes or prosecutes too many criminals?
The Justice Department?
Yes.
I think it may bring charges in areas which are not a good allocation of its resources, but I don't think it has sufficient resources to, and probably never will, to pursue every crime. That seems impossible.
One final point, Judge, I just want to get on the record. We spoke about this last week in our telephone call about the importance of state and local law enforcement to work together in a collaborative and cooperative fashion with the Department of Justice, both its local U.S. attorneys and the law enforcement agencies that you oversee. I was glad to know that you agree with me. Those partnerships are vital to reduce crime and keep our community safe. I just wanted to give you the chance to put that on the record today.
Yes, absolutely. My experience in Oklahoma City was close cooperation with the DA's office, the local police there, and with the governor and with the state police. I think these joint task forces are an exceedingly good idea. They're a force multiplier. So I'm completely on board with this. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.